Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next edition, latest edition of At the Table. I'm your host, Pastor Mark Avery. I'm delighted and honored of the Lord to welcome you tonight to our monthly conversation. Tonight, I promise you, we're going to have a fantastic discussion with my special guest. I'm going to ask if you would do me a great big favor at this point in time, press that share button. Let's get this out to as many people as we possibly can. I want you to know that this is Women's History Month, and tonight I'm bringing on a very special guest, very dear friend of mine who's going to share some insights, share some things about her wonderful, exciting, adventurous journey. And I'm sure you're going to be impacted, you're going to be inspired, but most of all, you're going to want to do better. You're going to want to be better. This is Women's History Month, and we want to acknowledge the fact that women have played a pivotal role in the development of our civilization from so many different sectors, from the business, the religious community. I know there are many that feel as though that a woman should keep silent in the church, but I don't subscribe to that camp. So I want you to know tonight we have a phenomenal guest. Joining us this evening is Lillian DeBaptiste, the first African American female mayor of Westchester, Pennsylvania, and the dedicated supervisor and owner of DeBaptiste Funeral Home Incorporated. Her journey is one marked by resilience, service, and unwavering commitment to community. From leading in the pulpit square to serving families in their most sensitive moments, she embodies what it means to lead with compassion, strength, and vision. Tonight, we're going to move beyond titles and into testimony. Yeah, that's right. Exploring leadership, legacy, purpose, and the power of showing up for people when it matters most. Please join me in welcoming an extraordinary leader and community pillar, Lillian DeBaptiste, the Honorable Mayor of Westchester, Pennsylvania. Honorable Mayor, grateful to have you with us tonight.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Thank you.
Hey, so glad to have you with us. And I've been looking forward to this day for many moons, and I'm just grateful and thankful that you thought it not robbery to join in with us on tonight. I'm going to ask once again my audience, you do me a great big favor, press that share button. Let's invite as many people as we can to be a part of this conversation on tonight. Once again, I have a trailblazer, a woman of phenomenal rank and renown, and I'm just so grateful that she saw fit to allow little space for little old me to be a part to share in this discussion with her on tonight. Before I go forward, we want you to know that we're so grateful and thankful for this particular month. There's been a lot happening, but regardless of the things that are happening, there's much to look up and look onward for. So I'm going to ask my special guest if she would just share a little bit about herself before we dive into this discussion on tonight. So at this time, I'm going to bring my very special guest, the Honorable Mayor of Westchester, Pennsylvania, in the person of Lillian DeBaptiste.
Well, here I am. You got me here. This is my first time ever doing a podcast, so I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. This is uncharted territory for me, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Just tell us a little bit about
yourself. I will take all the encouragement. I will take it all. But, gosh, I don't even know where to start. I mean...
Where'd you grow up? All that fun stuff.
Where'd I grow up? Well, we came to Westchester when I was young. I was actually born in Louisiana, but we came to Westchester when I think I was about 4, right before I started school. And I remember moving in because our neighbors, as soon as we moved in, they moved out in our block. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know why that stuck in a 4-year-old's head, but it did. Anyway, so we moved in at about that time when I was 4 years old. I started school. So basically all my schooling has been done here in Westchester, attended all the public schools. Most of them are down now. except for Henderson High, where I graduated from, and then actually graduated from Westchester University. So, and of course, Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, where I went to mortuary school, because I am also a funeral director, have been that longer than any mayor, but for well over 50 years. I got my 50-year plaque a couple of years ago. So I've been around a long time. We're birthday twins, but he's older than me. He's older than me. His gray hair isn't showing like mine is, though.
Lord have mercy. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, Mayor, we're certainly grateful and thankful that you've taken the time out of your busy schedule to
Oh,
hang
no,
out.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
And, I've had such a strong respect for her down through the years. And we didn't know till maybe, I'm going to say maybe within the last maybe 10, 15 years that
Yeah.
our birthdays fell on the same day.
Right.
Didn't know that. And it was like, wow, that's, great minds think alike,
Yeah.
And, we have quiet as is kept. We both have striking similarities with our sense of humor as well. So be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know.
Well, once again,
We'll see. Y'all will be the judge.
well, tonight we're so grateful to have you with us. I see my
Yeah.
audience is building nicely. Lucinda Faye Morton, God bless you. Veronica Dennison, God bless you. Tonda Hawkins, God bless you. So grateful to have you with us on tonight. Please, let's share this on as many platforms as we can to get the word out to as many people as we can. Oh, wow. There's a familiar face.
Yeah. Who? Oh.
Bishop Carl Turner, my diocesan bishop. God bless you,
Yes,
sir. Thank you.
Hi there, Bishop. Hi.
Thank you
How
for
are
joining
you?
us tonight. Continuing prayers for you and also Lady Turner, Bishop. All right? Continue prayers for you and Lady Turner. God bless you. My friend Mark Clemens, God bless you, man. All right. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Well, let's get started.
Well, you have some interesting friends. I peep out your Facebook page from time to time and see all the controversy you like to stir.
Well, Jesus has some interesting friends too, so I'm a good company.
Oh no, your friends are really interesting. They all have a great perspective and sense of humor.
Absolutely. Life is like
Who
that.
knew clergy had that? I just had to say that because they say that about funeral directors all the time.
Well, yeah, they do. They do. They do.
We're stereotyped. Yeah.
That's true. Danny, God bless you, Danny. Thank you for joining us. Let's get started. I just have a couple questions, and I promise if the audience has a question relative to our discussion, I'll leave space for them to entertain and pose their question as well. All right? Cindy.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, girl. Good to see you.
My first question for you, it's not a really deep one, but I just want you to consider this. Which life experiences, maybe more than one, prepared you for this position as mayor? What do you think? What life experiences prepared you for this position as mayor?
Oh, I think all of my life experiences have prepared me to be mayor. Actually, what my personal opinion is, being mayor is far easier than being a funeral director, because being a funeral director really takes a lot of if you do it like we try to do it with care and compassion and kindness and really depth of feeling, and getting all the details right, which is not an easy task, because that's something you have to do repeatedly. You can't rest on your laurels for one time. You have to do it each and every time for each and every service. It's very task oriented, all the prep leading up to the service. The service is actually the easy part, but getting all the details right is what makes the service breathe and live with and so families can relax and grieve properly and and if you do that correctly, it's a bridge from what was to what will be and what their life will be. So I think that you kind of hold their heart in your hand and you kind of you know try to usher them through that season of their life. And whether you want to or not, sometimes it becomes very personal. You dive in on the deep end, and because you have to know a lot of information quickly, and or you can be in the middle of family conflicts, and family conflicts aren't just about the service; it's about who mom and dad love more.
Yeah, yeah.
So that can be difficult as well. So I say all that to say I think that takes a lot of time and attention, and and it can be stressful over the course of trying to do this every day, every week, 24/7. So I think all of that prepares you to be mayor because you're able to give people time, you're able to give people attention, you're able to be on call all the time, like I was this weekend when the students were acting out in Westchester. And I just left a meeting where the community is just raising hell because the students were raising hell, and hundreds and hundreds of students on the street. So to me, as stressful and as difficult as that is, because I'm used to dealing with people in crisis and people with anger and lots of emotion and lots of passion behind what they're saying and feeling, it doesn't feel new to me.
Mm,
So, and I don't take it personally. Like I always say to my staff, whatever people are saying to you, friends, family, they're coming into a place in a space that they haven't been before, and
mm,
you can't take anything personal. They're acting out because of other things, not because of what you've said or done. They
mhm,
might
mhm,
not have liked what you've said or done, and it might have exacerbated how they're feeling, but at the root of it, it's other stuff. So you can't take any of it personally, although sometimes it can feel pretty personal.
mm. I'm surprised to hear you say that the role or functioning in serving families as a funeral director would be a little more challenging than mayor, given the fact that in a political climate, a lot of people have different agendas.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's life. Everywhere you meet people, wherever you go, in churches and workplaces and organizations that you might give of your time and energy, everyone always has different agendas. Only this is under the name of politics.
Mm,
So, and politics at home is as difficult as politics on the national level, but um, and as tough as it can be, it's not as I don't know the word I want. I was going to say ferocious as the national level, given who our president is. But um, it can be challenging. This year, my first term as mayor, the first 4 years, I'm in my second term. And in Westchester, you have a two-term limit of 4 years each. So this will be my final term, and then I'll term out. But some people, like Kennett Square, for instance, the mayor can go on ad infinitum. Um, but here we term out after 8 years. But my first term was pretty smooth sailing. I accomplished a lot of what I had thought it would take 8 years to accomplish in the first 4 years, which was good. Um, but this year has started off rough. It
mm,
ended rough, and I really thought long and hard about whether I should run again, seeing that a lot of why I ran for mayor, a lot of that was accomplished. Um, but I was encouraged, and I was deep in thought and prayer about it, but I was encouraged that my voice still mattered. um, and that it was still important to, have a voice in this conversation. But like I said, it ended kind of rough. It's starting kind of rough. And sometimes I doubt whether people want to hear my voice because my voice doesn't seem to go with the flow of what's going on. But it is still easier for me, because again, this is borough business. And when you run your own business, you're always fighting for survival, really. You're fighting to make ends meet, to meet people, to hire people, to work out all the kinks in between. So I think running your own business is far more difficult than this.
Wow, it's interesting. Interesting. So thank you for that insight, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know that if you have questions that you'd like to pose to our mayor, please put them in the comment area. We'll try to entertain them to the best of our ability. All right. I have another
Oh,
question.
and to Judge Maddox, my friend, I didn't know she was going to be on. Hey, 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 Judge.
Okay, Freedom Addicts.
Judge Fred Maddox.
Hey,
Yeah.
man. All right.
Uh-huh.
This question pertains to leadership and legacy. All right. Breaking barriers as the first African American female mayor of Westchester is historic. I need to also say something, put a plug in. The first African American mayor was her dad.
Right. Right.
So I got to give honor, respect to, I call him the honorable Dr. Clifford E.V. Baptiste. Thank the
Right.
Lord for him. Now, how old is dad?
He's 101. May 19th, God willing, he'll be 102.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Please give him my regards and my love. I'm going to make an attempt to spend some time with him real soon.
You should.
Hang up with him one afternoon.
Mine is still sharp. He's still sharp now. He'll tell you what for. Probably tell you last time you bothered to call him. His memory is still good.
He'll do that. He'll do that. He'll do that.
Yeah.
So once again, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
What did that moment mean to you personally, and how did you define the legacy you're building beyond the title? Repeat that again. Breaking barriers as the first African American female mayor of Westchester is historic. Westchester is not just any town; it's the county seat of Chester County as well.
Right.
What did that moment mean to you personally, and how do you define the legacy you're building beyond the title?
I think that's a difficult question to ask and answer, because when you're in the moment, you can't see the forest for the trees. You're just in the moment of doing the work, and getting through all the day-to-day minutia. I can say that after, well, first of all, let me take you back a little further. I've never run for any political office. So this was my first office that I ran for. And when Dad ran for mayor, it was in 1994. So it was some time ago. And I was on his campaign team. I was publicity and chair of publicity. And I really enjoyed, helping him run and, of course, helping him win, because that was very historic. Because what people don't realize is he ran as a Republican in a Democratic town, and won by a few hundred votes. And so that was historic on a couple levels. The fact that this is a Black Republican, when Republicans were reasonable then, but I ran as a Democrat. Because we both had changed our registration when President Obama, because I decided I wanted to help him win, to the best of my ability. So I say all that to say that was my first foray into politics, even though I wasn't running. And people would say, "Oh, are you going to run? Are you going to run?" And I was like, "No. First of all, I can't afford it because they don't pay you to be mayor. What they give you is, is lunch money, and they don't. And the way I eat, it's about 3 meals. But anyway, anyway, um, so I didn't really think that I would run for office for mayor. And then and then when I made that decision, in the meantime, I had helped like, "Hi Velma, how you doing? Good to see you." I had helped my good friend Judge Maddox. She had run for sheriff. She asked me, tapped me to help her on her campaign when she ran for sheriff. And I said, sure. And I helped her, and I helped two or three other people in their campaigns. And I kind of got the bug to be involved in helping people who I considered worthwhile make a difference in Chester County. Still did not consider running. Knew I wanted to do something, but really didn't see an office that I didn't really want to run for a political office. And then what happened was all of the, uh, I'll call them murders by black men by police started to begin. And George Floyd, of course, was a defining moment in this country's life, in this country's history. And at that point, I remember sitting down with a couple friends, Judge Maddox being one of them, and saying, I need to do more. I don't know what, I don't know how, but I need to do more. And because this right here, this wholesale lynching of black men and women is unacceptable. And so the current mayor at the time decided to step down to run for a higher office, to run for state representative. And
Okay.
when she did so, it left a void. So now there was a special election, and I thought, why not me? Because in Westchester, even though there's a lot you don't get a vote on, you are in charge of the police, and you are the civilian head of the police. And I thought, oh, well, I can't do something everywhere, but I can do something here in
Right.
my hometown where I grew up. And I can make sure that the police are the type of officers we want. And even though we had a good force, I do have to say that we had a really good force, but a lot of them left because of COVID and all of that. So I had an opportunity to make a difference. And so when I thought about this journey, whether I was going to run for office or not, I said something to Dad, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. You want to run for political?" Yes. And I'm like, "Well, I'm still thinking about it." But before I could even think anymore, you know, the horse was out the gate. Um, so, so I started this journey never having run for anything. But what I knew from my life's work is I was used to hard work. And so I literally had to go almost door to door throughout this borough and introduce myself to people because, you know, I didn't really know all of Westchester. So I did that and eventually I ran. And so I didn't really think about, okay, am I being historic? What legacy is this? I'm thinking about this is why I'm running this I want to make a difference here. So after I did win, which was kind of surreal, I really thought about, wow, so Dad and I, because we're father daughter, first father daughter mayors, first black mayors in the borough of Westchester, that, you know, will leave some kind of legacy for our family. So
Wow.
after that, that impacted me. The fact that he had run and won, and I had run and won, and and that's almost that doesn't happen too often. So yeah, but that is. But other than that, I just put my head down and keep on doing the work.
Well, I know several of us. I'm not. I lived in Kennett Square for better part of the last 30 some odd years. But although I lived in Kennett Square, I did do a lot of traveling into and out of Westchester for business purposes and other things. Many of us can. I can speak for myself. Many of us are grateful and thankful that you did run and that you did win.
Well, what I found interesting is even when I was running, people would say, thank you for running. And I'm like, what are you thanking me for? I haven't even won. Why are you thanking me? But I think it goes to the importance of representation, and we have to show up. And I think that if you see it in you, you can do it. And I would encourage everyone and anyone to get involved in the political process in some way, shape, or form, because all of life, whether you like it or not, is politics. I mean, and if you look around and see what's slowly being stripped away, you need to realize that where there might not be any postal service, all the little benefits you had thought you've come to know, there might not be any social security number, money, how they're changing the name of it, like it's a benefits program when that's your hard money, earned money that you earned, and they should have set aside, and they want to make it like they're gifting you back your money. So all the things that are happening, not only even on the national level, but pay attention to what's happening in your hometown or your
Right.
township or where you live,
Right.
because all of these decisions are political decisions, and you need to understand that and get involved and be heard. You can sit on the sidelines if you want, but
Hmm.
we have to. Well, Zanisha said we have to show up. And we
Hmm.
have to show up not only as voting members, which that's the minimum how we should show up, but we have to show up and participate and come out to these town halls and to the council meetings. Or most of them are live streamed through Facebook. You can watch them that way. So I just say, if you can do it. I mean, if I could do it when I ran for office, you can do it. You can.
It's interesting you said that. Years ago, I ran for school board in Kennett and ran and won successfully both times. And just as you're saying, just showing up and stepping up and getting involved made a
Right,
big difference. Because walking, being a school board member, I had access to all the schools, and that's
right.
when my sons were, my sons were in the school system at that point in time. So I got a chance to see things firsthand and have a heartbeat and have a pulse to what was happening. And a lot of times we're clueless because we're not involved, we're not engaged. So you made a
Right.
very very valid point.
We're not engaged.
My
Uh,
dear friend right here, he's the president of the Middletown School District, I think Middletown or Middleton School District out of New York. So he's very involved. So he's very happy for him, very proud of him. But we have to get involved. We have to get involved. We can't wait till things happen and react. We got to be proactive.
Absolutely.
Be
I
proactive.
mean, we are the ones that can make the difference. I mean, we have been making the difference. We're the only, we as a people are what's keeping democracy, even though it's on life supports, even on life supports. We're keeping it on life supports, because I can say this climate should make everyone want to get involved.
Absolutely,
It
absolutely,
should make everyone want to get involved
absolutely,
because
absolutely. My friend corrected me. It's Middletown, New York. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. And this is my cousin. Oh wow, Thomas. Where you at, Thomas? Give me 1 second. My cousin from Hartford County, Maryland. All right, do that. Do that. I'll be praying for you. Now, definitely be supporting you, cuz. Keep going
County.
distance.
I just met the other day, this past weekend, a young woman who is in Nashville and getting ready to run for mayor, black woman.
Hmm.
She's on council now, and her name is Joy. Forgot her last name, but Joy. Real nice young lady. See,
Hmm.
I wish I had started this when I was young, and then I would have maybe even gone further. And people say, "Oh, well, what are you going to do after you know, finish being mayor? What are you running for?" I'm like, nothing, nothing, absolutely nothing.
But you'll still be involved in some shape, form, or fashion in the community because you serve the community at large, and
Right.
you've been doing that phenomenally for so many years. I want to put a plug in for her as a funeral director. They do a phenomenal job. They are, I would say, the premier funeral home service in Chester County. They served my mom and my sister and did a
Okay.
phenomenal job. People still talk about it. It's interesting. My mom's been gone 14 years. People still talk about her service and how it was just so totally uplifting and inspiring. Because the challenge for me, I'm trying not to get emotional. The challenge for me was to have her service, and it was on her birthday.
Right. I remember
Remember
that.
that?
Yeah, I do.
And Lillian and her staff just took the grief out as much as they can and made it more celebratory. And people
Yeah.
came. They came to my mom's service, and I remember this. They walked away not with just feeling good, but they walked away with gifts themselves.
Yeah.
So it was just,
And we had
man.
cupcakes. We gave out birthday cupcakes,
I think it
and
was chocolate. I think it was chocolate.
it was a chocolate. I thought it was cupcake,
Chocolate. It was
but we
chocolate.
gave out. We had balloon arches
Yes. Yes.
and
Remember?
very untraditional flowers.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so they look more like you said, celebratory, not funeral flowers.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
um, so yeah, I definitely remember that. That was a challenge. That was a tough time.
Hmm.
But
Well, you all helped me to get through it as much as best you could. So I
yeah.
definitely appreciate you for that. Definitely appreciate you for that.
Well, and we're
Um,
getting ready to open up in Ardmore, Pennsylvania.
oh,
Yeah, we're opening up
okay.
a funeral home in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, which is along the main line right outside of Philadelphia, right
Yeah.
outside of West Philadelphia. Um,
Excellent.
so Route 30 goes straight through it. And yeah, so we're looking forward to that. And that we just had our final walkthrough today, and we're a licensed funeral home now as of yesterday in Ardmore.
Excellent. Excellent.
And we're going to be moving in the next month, and then hopefully come May, right around Dad's birthday, we're going to have a big open house in Ardmore.
Let
So
me know because I'm not that far from Ardmore now. I'm closer to
I
Ardmore
know
than
you
you are.
are.
Yeah.
I,
So please let me
you
know.
know, Dad was raised. He was born in Sharon Hill and lived there up until the time he was about three and a half, four.
Oh wow.
Yeah, born
Wow.
in Sharon Hill. Yep, yep.
Mm. Okay, we got a little more territory to cover, but as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, she's not just engaged. She's not just articulate and intelligent and erudite. She's a talker too.
And what the hell that mean?
I'm sorry.
I'm just teasing. Uh,
Woo! Okay. Here's another one. Here's another one. I hope you're enjoying this, ladies and gentlemen. Please let us know. Throw some hearts up. Let us know if you're enjoying our discussion thus far. In both public service and your work with families through the funeral home, you encounter people in very different seasons of life.
right.
How has your sense of purpose or faith guided you in navigating both roles?
Mm. Oh, that's a good question. Well, I think you have to stay very focused on faith. I mean, certainly when you're sitting on the front line of watching people grieve and trying interacting with them and helping them, uh, for me, I think you have to have a strong sense of faith. And I can tell you that from my perspective, I can tell you there is a difference between those who grieve with faith and those who do not, those who are hopeful and those are who feel hopeless. Because when you're walking through the shadow of the valley of death, you have to look toward the light, and that light has to be the Lord, and because He's the only one that you can cling to. Because people disappoint, and family, people go back to living their lives, and and it's not because they're uh, selfish, but that's just the way it is. And you have to be able to grip onto something to help you through that period. Um, but as I just heard recently, I heard someone preach on the 23rd Psalm. But where there is a shadow, that means there is light. So you're not in complete darkness. You always have something to look to. You follow that. Yes. So I think even as a funeral director, you have to hold on to that. And some services are gut wrenching. They're so emotional, that it's really kind of hard, and you do get so involved, um, but in a good way, in a good way. Um, but they're tough because you do wonder why. You do wonder why. But, I do believe that, you know, the answers will come, you know, of why. I don't believe we necessarily have all the answers, but
Right.
I believe they will come to us. Sometimes when I'm pondering something and I don't have the answer, sometimes I just, you just have to sit and be still and just say, okay, Lord, when you're ready to show me the answer, you will. You will. You'll make me understand it in your time, not my time. And there was that one year, I think that was the only scripture I held on to all year was all things are possible with you, because some years it feels that way. Some seasons feel that way. You have to believe that all things are possible. I remember we tried to be on the forefront of a lot of things in terms of cutting edge in funeral service and being progressive and um, looking at funeral service with a bigger lens and a wider lens and how we can make it better. With me, I'm always looking at, okay, what can we do different? How can we make it better? What is meaningful to families? What is not meaningful? And I'm always looking at that. And and of course, people say, "Oh, with funeral service, you always have a job." Well, that job is changing, just like lots of jobs are changing. And so, how you work in that job changes. And what it was 50 years ago to what it is now. I remember 50 years ago, we were dragging out ferns and uh, big torchlier lamps and the whole 9 yards to services. And of course, it was more funerals as opposed to memorials. Um, but you have to learn how to make whatever you're doing meaningful to the families you're serving. And one of the things we decided to do in 2008 was, well, we decided before then because it took my dad and I several years to, be on the same accord. But we opened up Milestone Events, an event facility, because all the stats said churches are going down. And indeed they have. Membership has gone down, and people, you hear it. People are spiritual but not religious, and people don't want to be tied into a church, but they want to have the big belief, but not the work. And um, so we said, okay, well, we need a place where it feels home-like. It feels that they can have any, that all religions can come and that they all can feel comfortable, um, because we serve a lot of people. We don't just serve Christians, we serve Muslims, we serve Hindus, we serve, you know, we want everyone to feel that they're welcome. And so that's when we opened our event center. And then we said, well, I really, at that point in my life, I'm like, I don't want to see people just when they're grieving. I want to see them also when they're having joyful moments in their life, when joy is filling them. And so we started it as a place to have funeral luncheons or repasts, as we say. But we also, I wanted to open it up. So we have concerts there. We've had luncheons there. We've had church anniversaries there. We've had weddings there, baby showers. So we've done a little bit of everything at Milestone Events. And now it feels like it's just part of the institution of Westchester. And so I've even had art shows. I've had a little bit of everything there, because I think it's a place that you can come in and feel comfortable. It's more elevated than a hall and more private than a hotel. So that has been a blessing that we had that vision, because when we did it in 2008, when we opened up, there was literally like 5 in the country. And they were in the Midwest because there was none on the East Coast. One in Florida, I think. One in Florida.
Wow. You want to hear something funny? 2 years ago, we had State Farm. We had one of our business meetings there.
Oh, okay.
And one of my coworkers was like, "Where is this place? Milestones in Westchester." And I said, "You never heard of Milestones?" He said, "No." I said, just follow me." And they were like, "Wait a minute, this." One of my coworkers, he said, "This got a vibe of a funeral home."
Well, Milestones doesn't.
No, but they were looking around. They saw a hearse. That's what kind
Right.
of put them off. I said,
Because it was next door to the
right.
funeral home.
I said,
Yeah.
well, they cater to all different audiences and different,
Right.
And they
Right.
were like, "Oh, wow." I said, "Yeah." I said, I told them I was here. I don't know if you remember this or not. When Obama won his first term, you all hosted a inaugural
Right.
ball there,
We did. We
and I
did.
was privileged to be a part of that. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
so
That
it
was
just
a
that's
fun
a
night.
lot.
Yeah, that was a fun night. We did,
Hmm.
with the band and everything.
Yes, indeed.
Remember,
Yes,
with the
indeed. Yes,
old time
indeed.
band, with the
Yes, indeed.
like a band from the 50s. We had that. You know, it was
Hmm.
it was fun. It was a
It was
fun
fun.
night.
A lot of fun.
A lot of people went because everyone was going down to Washington, but a lot of people didn't. So we had we
Right.
had we had a good time.
Great alternative. Great close alternative.
Yes, and then we had the big screens where you could see a lot of the events that were going on in DC
Right.
being broadcast. So we had those on the screens.
Exactly.
So that
Exactly.
was a, that was
Wonderful.
that was a milestone moment.
There you go. There you go.
We had
There you
lots of
go.
milestone moments there.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've had lots of milestone moments. So it's been a dream come to life, but of course dreams don't come without the horror. I mean, we opened up in June of 2008. Opened up on June 15th. That was the day my mother had passed in 1990, and I wanted to take that day and turn it around and make it a day of joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And um, and then in August, the biggest stock market crash ever, and everything tanked, and we were in a recession. And And that whole 12 months, I was like, oh my God, I've jeopardized 40 some years of business, and for this dream of having this event center. And I was very worried, because it was, a lot of re realigning finances and everything. But the dream is still here, and milestones are still standing, and
I'm doing well.
God has provided. So it's been
Doing
interesting.
well.
Yeah.
We're close to the home stretch, and want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Good to see you, Bishop Neil Smith. Thank you for joining us tonight. Pastor Arlene Norton, grateful to have you with us tonight. Valerie Barnes, grateful to have you with us.
Neil Smith. Hi. Yes, you're right, Neil. The funeral industry is a calling. And you'll find a lot of people who come into it because they think it's quick money or big money or fast money, and then they have to leave because it's not all of those things. It's not any of those things. It's a lot of time, a lot of attention. It's good work. It's not easy work, but it's satisfying.
Absolutely.
Is Neil Smith the funeral director?
I believe he's actually a pastor. He's a bishop in Akron, Ohio. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, oh, is he? Oh, nice.
But
Very nice.
apparently he's in the business to some degree. So that's something I didn't know, but you learn something new about your friends every night.
Okay.
Here's another one. What are some of the
And you
most
too can be in the business if you.
me
Yes.
when I retire?
Okay.
Seriously, when I retire, I'll look
And
you up.
seriously, I'll be calling you up the day after you retire. I've done it with a couple people, and they're like, "Oh, you were serious." Haven't I, Cindy? Cindy Outlaw was one of them. I'm like,
Well,
so how serious were you, Cindy?
especially since you're building one in Ardmore. So hey, that's close to me.
Cindy's even had to come back to work. I don't know if she's still on the line, but yeah. And you know what? What makes us really special is we've always had great people working with us and around us and for us. Oh, he's an apprentice, general manager as well as an apprentice. Good luck. Good luck.
All right, sir. All right. Didn't know that. Have another question for you, Mayor. What are some of the most pressing needs you see in Westchester community today? And how can everyday citizens become more active in being part of the solution?
Well, in Westchester, there's a couple of things happening now in Westchester. I, I was going to say Westchester is being gentrified, but that ship has sailed. It's already gentrified. That happened prior to me becoming a mayor, where what used to be, $50,000 homes, Westchester is one of the number one uh, places people look at on Zillow in the country, because of the quality of life, its walkability, its cosmopolitan style, its accessibility to bigger cities. And so the average medium home is about $600,000 in Westchester. I know
The
an
average?
average,
Oh,
and some of them go over asking. I know there's two nice, beautiful little renovated townhouses, and one they want 700 for, and the other one I just saw listed for 600. So yeah, and they're row homes, row homes, townhomes, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, if I had to live buy a house in Westchester today, nah, couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But that's indicative of a lot of places. But we're still not as bad as, the Northeast corridor and the West, the LA, California, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd say so. Housing is expensive in Westchester, and I'd like to see more affordable housing and incentives to get builders. We're get builders to put in affordable housing. Westchester is getting ready, and it's Westchester, mind you, is less than 2 square miles. Believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
20,000 people living in it, and that doesn't include the student population. Our police force is we have 44 full-time officers on our police force. And I'm also happy to say that in the first 4 years, my first police chief retired, and I was able to select the current police chief, who is African American, who ironically my dad hired, and I got to promote him to chief.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was interesting. But so, it's and rents and all of that are very expensive. So I'd like to see more affordable housing. And then the other dilemma going on in Westchester now is because the university is successful and the town is successful. The students are between the town and the students, because there's always the fringe students who just, like this past weekend when it was a beautiful weekend and it was spring and it was St. Patty's Day and they all converged. And I think everyone decided they were going to party. And the best way to party was in the street and in the yard with the solo cup. And so the weekend I started getting calls about do something, do something. And, so had to make sure our police and all were engaged and involved and investing and controlling it. And so that has been unfortunately, it's a symbiotic relationship. We have to learn how to work together,
Mm-hmm.
because they're very successful. They're getting a national reputation, and our borough has a national reputation, and they're both very good. The borough and the university. But now you have some friction that we have to learn how to work better and play nice in the sandbox. And right now, that's what I'm trying to make people see the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Wow, gotcha. That's a lot to deal with, but you're
Oh,
going.
thank you, Mark.
You're,
Thank you, Mark. Do I know them?
no,
Do I,
he's a friend of mine from my home church back in the day in Philadelphia.
you said he has family in Westchester.
His family in Westchester. I didn't know
Yeah.
that, but I guess he'll be reaching out to me and reaching out to you at some point. I have time for one more question. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I pray that you have been blessed, and thank you so much for your engagement tonight. We've had with us the Honorable Mayor of Westchester, Pennsylvania, in the person of Lillian DeBaptiste. She's the first African female mayor in the city of Westchester, and she's actually in her second term of mayor.
Right,
So we thank
right.
God for her. Thank God for her success thus far. I have one more question, then we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
And if the audience has a question, please feel free to drop it in the comment area. All right, for young people, this is for the next generation. All right, for the young people, Lillian,
Right, right,
especially young women of color.
right.
Okay, who aspire to leadership or entrepreneurship. What lessons from your journey would you want them to carry with them?
Oh gosh, there's so many lessons. Um, I think that there's so many lessons. I think that women are natural leaders. I think women are natural nurturers and leaders. And I would say to don't let anyone dim your light, to let your light shine. If you do have a goal, don't let the naysayers stay in your ear. There's two ways you can become a success. You surround yourself with people who encourage you. You surround yourself, they don't even have to believe in your dream. All they have to do is encourage you. And sometimes those people don't look like family. Sometimes they look like teachers or friends or pastors, or where you work. But surround yourself with people who encourage you and 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 help you when you need that help. And I would say, do it. No, even if it's just in a little way, just do it. Because if you surround yourself, and I was at, Reverend Dr. Kyle Boyer. He's a principal over East High School, or vice principal over East High School. And I was speaking with some of the students there at the BSU. And I have to say this, what I told him is this: first of all, you have to surround yourself with good people, because if your people aren't good, then you might be going down a path they're going down. And secondly, if you are the smartest person in your friend group, then you need to change your friend group,
Amen. Amen.
because you need to be able to learn from other people just like people are learning from you. So that doesn't mean they're no longer your friends.
Right.
It means you need to broaden your horizons and test yourself, because that's the only way you're going to grow, and that's the only way you're going to know what you want to do and where you want to be, by having all the experiences that you can have, because life is about building these experiences. And also, life is about difficult choices. So you can make the difficult choice to stay up and study, or and do good on your. He's the assistant principal. Thank you for that at East High, Reverend Dr. Kyle Boyer. Um, the You can make the difficult choice to say, when you're a student, to stay up and study. It's hard. That's a hard choice, to stay up and study when everyone's outside and playing around, and you have to be inside and you're studying because you want to pass that test. That's a difficult choice. Or you can make the other choice, to not study, and go out and have a good time, and then the next day fail the test and maybe fail the school year. Well, that's a difficult choice. So you have life is about making the best of whatever difficult choice you have, because life's full of difficult choices, but you need to make the right difficult choice. Because it's all about hard choices to make. And you start out by surrounding yourself with good people, people who support you, people who want the best for you, and then making sure that you're learning from your friends just like they're learning from you. If you're not learning from your friends, change your friends.
Mm,
Change your friends.
mm.
And that's and you can learn from everybody. Don't get me wrong. You can learn from everybody, but it depends where you want to go and what you want to do in life. So, yeah. So, because, we're all here to learn, and, you know, yeah, we're all here to learn. And that's how we grow, and that's how we glow, and that's how we become the best people that we can be. And a lot of times people say, "Oh, how do you do it all? Be a mayor, be a funeral director, da 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 da." Because I have good people around me. I have people like the Cindy Outlaws. I have people like, my niece Elizabeth DeBaptiste, and my daughter, who's now back from California, working with us, Liana. I have a good admin who was here tonight, just helping me navigate the electronics of it all, because I can't do it all, don't do it all, don't pretend I can, but I have good people that make a difference to me. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow. What an incredible conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Mary DeBaptiste has reminded us.
We can't do it all. We can't do it all.
Yeah, you can't.
We can't do it all, but we can decide what we're going to focus on now and then what we're going to focus on another time. And sometimes we have to just let life because because things happen, and and the Lord steps in. So yeah, but you just try to keep on going. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Mary DeBaptiste has reminded us tonight that true leadership is not just about position. It's about purpose, service, and the courage to stand in places where change is needed most. The story challenges us to reflect on how we show up in our own communities, how we lead in our spheres of influence, and how we remain committed to lifting others as we climb. To our listeners, let this conversation inspire you to walk boldly in your calling, serve with intention, never underestimate the impact of your voice and your presence. Thank you again, Mayor DeBaptiste, for sharing your wisdom and your journey with us. Thank you, everyone. Go
I
ahead.
would just like to say one other thing.
Sure.
We all have a voice, and it's up to each of us to use it. You can use it or you can lose it, but I suggest you use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Gotten through this first podcast. Have mercy. Have mercy.
You got jokes. This has been phenomenal. But ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I pray that you have been blessed by the conversation on tonight. Thank you, Velma.
Was anyone listening? I don't know.
This is being recorded as well. For those that didn't catch you, they can watch it later on at their leisure.
There's nothing worse than watching yourself. Oh, God, I hate it.
It's okay. You survived. And you not only did you survive, but you thrived. You did well.
Thank you, Velma. She said I was good.
You did well. You did well.
Thank you, Bishop.
You did well. These are friends of mine. They've been on several of my conversations in the past as well.
Nice.
So,
but tell them I'm the best.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Mayor DeBaptiste, for joining us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I pray, once again, this was in honor of Women's History Month. I wanted to bring on a trailblazer, wanted to bring on a public servant, wanted to bring on somebody who's made an indelible impact in the community, someone that I've respected down through the years and admire her tremendously. And I certainly appreciate her so much for just her devotion, her commitment, but most of all, I thank her for her friendship. I thank her.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank her for her friendship. But
as the kids say, you're a real one.
Here we go. But I want you to let us know where you're a little bit more about the business. You told us about Ardmore, but let us know the locations of the other facilities so that everyone can know where to reach you, where to find you, and so forth.
Oh, okay. Well, you can reach me at www.debaptiste.com, through our website, through our email. We're in Westchester, as Pastor Avery has said, at 25 South Worthington, and our event space is right next to our funeral home. And and that's called Milestone Events. And if you want to book us for seminars or weddings, and if any weddings are coming up, how's that wife of yours? She's still married to
I believe so.
I'm just checking in. Where is she?
She's in class right now. She's on her way home.
Tell her Seriously,
See,
tell her I
you
asked.
gonna get it. You gonna get it. You gonna get
I
it.
know, I know. Tell her I asked for
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this has been a phenomenal discussion and conversation tonight. I want to give you a heads up for our next discussion, our next conversation. Mark your calendars. April the 28th, which happens to be the fourth Tuesday of April. April the 28th, we are going to prepare to honor for our upcoming Mother's Day celebration. We're going to honor the life and legacy of the late Mother Patricia Henry. Mother Patricia Henry. Many of you remember her from Pentecostal Bridegroom Temple out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There she is.
Hey,
And
hey, Vanessa.
several of the Henry family and clan will join me on that night as we pay honor and respect to the life and legacy of Mother Patricia Henry. You do not want to miss it. It'll be April the 28th at 7 p.m. Mark your calendars now and pay close attention to my page for further updates. Well, we certainly appreciate you, and especially you. And I'm glad my wife checked in so you'll know that I'm good and
Yes,
we're
I
good.
see you. I'm praying for you, honey. I'm praying for you. He is Scorpio.
Where's Tom when I need him?
I thought my husband might tune in because
Oh Lord.
I was hoping he would. When you said Thomas at one point, I said my husband came on. But
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
he did not. He did
Help,
not.
help, help. All right. Well, it's been a joy. It's been a privilege hanging out with you, Mary. You did a phenomenal job. I'm glad I was the one who introduced you and brought you into the podcast world, conversation world. But we certainly appreciate you. You did a phenomenal job, and we appreciate your service.
One of those T-shirts you have on,
What's that?
Your T-shirt.
Oh, there's a female version. I'll have my wife get you one.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a female counterpart. I'll make sure we get you one.
I think I've seen them, but at least in the somewhere.
Okay, we'll hook you up.
I always like that T-shirt.
We'll hook you up. We got you.
The one I wear currently is the one that says "Nah," Rosa Parks. She just said "Nah" and AH nah.
We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, thank you for hanging out with us and thank you for joining us. And we appreciate you. Keep us lifted in prayer. Know that we love you with the love of God. Remember this, life is great because God is good. Grace and peace until we meet again.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.